Nigerian Dwarf goat. What you're going to see Nikki do here, she's got a target pole in her hand right now. You're also going to hear a clicker. That target pole is one of the first things we train an animal to do, because then you can use the target pole to add on to different behaviors. Spinning behaviors, they can follow it to jump over things. When you hear that clicker, that means that what Nikki has asked for, so the hoof counting that we call that Fedora has actually done it. So she'll get a clicker to tell her that she's done the right thing. It's a clicker. That's another thing you're going to see the younger ones do. They don't do good at spinning. Younger does not always mean more agile here. It just depends on the animal. So Nikki's going to ask for something. If Fedora wants to do it, she'll do it. You'll hear a clicker that she's done the right thing. And then she gets a treat at the end. That bridge, the reason we call it a bridge, is because we can bridge multiple behaviors together. So when you see them jump, you'll have one jump, she'll clicker, second jump, she'll clicker again, tell her that she's done the right thing, and then give her the treats at the very, very end. In the beginning, it's a lot of clicker, treat, and eventually you can do multiple behaviors after. Sometimes the animal shows you a behavior that they want to do, and if the keeper is paying attention, they'll capture that behavior and then start training it. Sometimes it just depends. Some things we want the animal to do for its own benefit, to make sure that the hooves are okay, the legs are okay. Fiesta and Fedora are getting older. They're about 9 years old. Goats can live into the teens. So it just depends on the animal. But these guys are Nigerian Dwarf goats. That's as big as they're going to get. They are all female. Does anybody have any questions? So all the animals are here are trained, from the alligators to the zebras to everything in between. One of my favorite training stories that I like to tell every time are the Aldabra tortoises in the reptile house. They used to take about an hour and a half to get inside at the end of every day. When they started training, they started target training. They have a big frisbee-looking red thing that looks like a big flower that they would eat. They touch their nose to it, they get like a carrot or something like that. From an hour and a half in the beginning, it now takes them 20 minutes to get inside, which for a tortoise is going to be very good. So it's very helpful to have these. So as I was saying, most of it is going to be a medical behavior. We have, if you look up there on the barn, underneath the awning, there's a cow chute. We do things like this because when the vets come down, we want the animal to be safe, we want the vets to be safe, and we want them to be used to it.
I used to have a goat named Dewey.
Fedora is an awesome jumper. You want me to raise that, or
I think it's.
They push the horn. I believe Fiesta will bite the horn. So it just depends on what they like to do and what they're comfortable with. Some of them will hit it with their foot. Most of them will hit it with their foot. Some of them will hit it with their head, and one of them bites it. So it just depends on the animal. And that's obviously not going to be a medical behavior, but that is something that's challenging for the animal. They have to know what Nikki is asking for. Nikki's right now asking for them to pick up that hoop and put it into her hand. Now, is that how she started? No. When she started, it's likely that she just had them picking up the hoop. When they showed interest in that hoop, when they picked it up, she would reward it. And then slowly it would build upon putting it into the hand. So you see she's asking for it, and if she doesn't get the right behavior, she just patiently waits. Training does take a lot of patience. You got to be able to read the animal, make sure that they're comfortable and that they know what you're looking for. Undoing knots is just one of their talents. Painting is another. I find painting really fascinating because you do a lot of no paint. So she's going to start with just setting up the canvas and the paintbrush, and then Fedora will pick it up with her mouth and run it up the canvas.